From the 5 Alive News Center, Jennifer Eve and Jeff Mirasola, Mike Morgan's weather, and Dick Pryor with sports. This is 5 Alive News Tonight.
Good evening, everyone. We thank you for joining us. An Oklahoma City family's ordeal continues tonight as police search for their missing father.
Authorities believe 88-year-old Willie Garland Owens wandered away from his home last night.
Now, their biggest cause for concern is the fact he is blind and he has rarely ever left his own home. Owens is about 5 foot 8 inches tall. He weighs 175 pounds. He has gray hair and he's balding.
Police say Owens is wearing a brown wool or tweed coat, brown pants, and a dark-colored hat. Willie Owens' family is finding strength and togetherness tonight. They're gathered at his house, waiting for even the least bit of encouraging news. As 5 Alive's Joe and Cardona reports, they're trying to be optimistic in the face of a puzzling mystery.
What's been a long day is now turning into a long night for everyone involved in the search for Willie Owens. Officer Ron Thomas and other policemen are combing Owens' neighborhood tonight with spotlights, hoping they'll find him before he falls victim to the cold darkness.
Based upon the information we had as far as for his clothing, he's not dressed in real warm clothing, so it could be up in the air on his chances for survival.
For Willie Owens' family, all there is to do is sit and wait and pray.
I really am worried about him, but like I said before, I just have faith in God, and I just feel like it's going to turn out all right,
Tomorrow morning, police will resume their door-to-door search of the area. They spent the afternoon today knocking on doors, unfortunately with no results. There are still very few clues, only a lot of questions about how long an 88-year-old blind man can survive out in the cold, away from his familiar surroundings. Joe and Cardona, 5 Alive News Tonight.
A worker at a nearby drug rehab center saw a man fitting Owens' description around 9 o'clock last night. He says the man was stumbling as he walked the street and seemed to be disoriented.
Meanwhile, it is a crime that seems to rear its ugly head around Christmas time, and it's back. Shoplifting is on the rise, but this year merchants are fighting back.
Sophisticated monitoring equipment and a get-tough prosecution policy are two ways stores will try and stay ahead. 5 Alive's Bill Mitchell begins our team coverage.
The sound of Christmas is music to the ears of local merchants.
Does she need a shirt or something? Well, she has the striped blouse back there with her.
For most people, it is a time for buying and giving.
That's a great place on it.
Maggie Kent is district manager for Casual Corner Stores. After 21 years in the retail business, she knows that Christmas is also a time for taking, because shoplifting increases.
The professionals are definitely out year-round. During the holidays, more of people wanting things that they can't afford.
Retailers are fighting back with the most sophisticated monitoring equipment. This shoplifting scene was captured on hidden cameras. Everyone should be concerned about shoplifting. That's because every time someone takes something from a store like this one, it costs a shopper money.
Shoplifting obviously affects profit of the store. So when you lose, say, an average of 5 leather coats in one day, someone has to pay for that.
That someone is the honest shopper. Shoplifting costs Americans $1.5 billion a year. That's one reason most retailers urge strong prosecution of shoplifters. High visibility security is also helping to cut down on crime around retail stores. 5 Alive's Larry Blunt continues our team coverage.
It's not unusual to see a security guard on the roof of the new Penn Square Mall. From this vantage point, they have a commanding view of the parking lot, which surrounds the mall. Guards also periodically walk through the rows of parked cars. At the same time, a security vehicle patrols the parking lot. Seeing all the security tends to make shoppers more comfortable, and it drives away the criminal element.
They see our guys out here in the parking lot, and, well, they just don't even come around for the most part.
Clark says shoppers can do a lot to protect themselves. He urges shoppers to periodically lock their newly purchased gifts in the trunk of cars. He also warns people to travel in groups and asks security guards to escort them to their cars after dark. Larry Blunt, 5 Alive News Tonight.
Now, Oklahoma County District Attorney Bob Macy says most shoplifting crimes are felonies, and that means when the shoplifters are found guilty, they most likely will spend some time in jail.
Tonight in our Excellence in Education series, Jay Giroux looks at another super educational program. This is one that in less than 2 years could give you a whole new career and a very good job.
Make it an official inspection type report that you would do.
These students are learning a new career in Oklahoma's aviation industry, an industry that is literally ready to go sky high.
In the past, the reason why that we've had difficulty in growing in that area, that we had no skilled workforce.
That will no longer be the case. Students at the Metro Tech Aviation Career Center are making both themselves and Oklahoma more attractive to industry.
The Aviation Career Center represents a commitment from the state of Oklahoma in the support of quality training to support the aviation aerospace industry.
That industry already finds Oklahoma attractive because of central location, local geography, and favorable flying weather. Now, add to that list a supply of Oklahomans fully trained in state-of-the-art diagnostic, maintenance, and repair techniques.
Our program encompasses the whole AMT program, Aviation Maintenance Technician.
In addition, high school students can attend the school for college credit, and Oklahoma City Community College students can use a program to earn an associate degree in aviation maintenance technology.
Appliances and lit and microwave ovens at the locally owned and fully stocked Dick Chrisman Appliance Center at 50th and North May.
The Precor 718E, the reason people are starting to stare.
And in tonight's Dateline, the chairman of the Palestine Liberation Organization is crying foul. Yasser Arafat wants to come to New York next week to deliver a speech to the UN. But the Reagan administration is denying Arafat an entry visa. The PLO chief says President Reagan is in violation of UN rules. Better luck, though, for a team of Soviet cosmonauts. They blasted off en route to the Soviet space station. The Soviet Space Center says all systems are working normally tonight. The crew will be joining 3 cosmonauts to make plans for an expedition to Mars. And in New York City, feeling the earth move under your feet. That 6-point earthquake centered in Canada was felt here last night. Windows were busted out of a high-rise on the Lower East Side of Manhattan. And elsewhere, the ceiling cracked as the earth shifted. Damage was heaviest in Quebec, Canada, but was felt as far away as Washington, D.C. Not here, though, thank goodness.
No, haven't seen you in a while. You have a nice Thanksgiving?
I had a great time. Went up to Tulsa, saw the family, had a wonderful time.
I have the family here bragging about Oklahoma weather around Thanksgiving time.
Oh, it's lovely.
Yes.
Just a memory, though.
Yeah.
Much colder out there now. And some of the cold, well, in fact, the coldest weather we've seen so far this year is headed for Oklahoma. Hard freeze again across the entire state, and maybe even a few snowflakes across parts of Oklahoma tomorrow afternoon. Not much snow, but at any rate, the wind will have a definite bite again tomorrow. Right now in Oklahoma City, skies are partly cloudy out there, and the temperature is dropping off 37 degrees. Our winds continue out of the northwest at about 10 miles per hour this hour. Humidity is still fairly high, 79%. Some moisture lingering in Oklahoma. The pressure's 29.78 and rising, and a trace of light rain, especially over the northern parts of the metro around noon today. The morning low was 37. This afternoon's high temperature was 43. Normals for this date are 34 and 57, and the records 13 in 1975 and 81 back in 1910. Now, across Oklahoma, variable cloudiness, partly cloudy to cloudy, depending on where you are. Temperatures range from a very cold 30 degrees already this evening up in the Gage-Woodward area to a much milder 52 down in the southeastern corner around Idabel. The mountains of southeastern Oklahoma are actually blocking the cold air from draining into the extreme southeastern parts of the state. But even the folks down in the southeastern sections will see much colder temperatures by tomorrow. Everyone else is mostly in the mid-30s, 35 around Clinton and Weatherford, also down in Hobart, and even freezing this hour up in Alva. Now here's our satellite picture across the southern plains, taken as of 9 o'clock. Low and some high-level cloudiness across Oklahoma. As we back up to time, about 2 o'clock early this morning, we can see the thunderstorms rapidly move eastward out of the state through the lower and middle Mississippi valleys. Several tornadoes reported along with golf ball and larger size hail, especially in Mississippi this afternoon. A few scattered reports of damage in central Mississippi from some vigorous thunderstorms. You can see this is a very massive storm system stretching from really the Ohio Valley all the way out to almost the west coast, at least quite a ways west of the Rocky Mountain Divide. And there's one more little impulse now in the northern Rockies headed toward Oklahoma, and that impulse may actually spread some light snow across the extreme western parts of the state tomorrow afternoon, dusting at the very, very most, but a few flurries of snow, perhaps even here in Oklahoma City by afternoon, but nothing major. A secondary front.
Car stereo with 3-way speakers, $99 installed free.
Soundtrack's on the right track.
Imagine how proud you'd be sitting down to a holiday dinner at this big, beautiful Broyhill dining room from Mathis Brothers.
Too expensive? Don't you believe it. Even with the beautiful burled oak insets, this large, graceful trestle table with 4 chairs is only $5.99.
It's an honest $1,000 value anywhere. In fact, the only better value on the floor just might be this huge 66-inch matching china, also just $5.99.
So don't fall for phony sales or second-rate merchandise. You deserve the best brands, the best prices. You deserve Mathis Brothers, 3434 West Reno.
Now, here's that chilly forecast you can remember. Tomorrow, partly cloudy skies and 41 degrees. It'll feel like 20, though. Sunshine and 45 on Monday after a morning low of 22 degrees here in central Oklahoma. Then partly cloudy with another front Tuesday afternoon, 45. That'll keep us cool on Wednesday, sunshine and 45. And then finally, perhaps maybe near 50 around here on Thursday with mostly sunny skies. So old man winter has certainly arrived in Oklahoma. Just memories of that very warm Thanksgiving day.
But you're not thinking of snowflakes at this point?
Not any serious snowflakes, perhaps 1 or 2 in the air.
A couple of flakes.
That's right.
Okay. Thanks, Mike.
You bet.
Okay. You can see how our Toyland collection is growing around the studio. Today, at least 6 groups of people came to Five Alive with more toys. Terry and Karen Morrison came from Paws Pet Finders Incorporated, and they dropped off an appropriate gift, a stuffed animal, and of course, a cuddly dog. We appreciate the toys, but we do need more, so be sure to drop new toys and books here or at our other Toyland locations. Aaron McLean also thought about needy children and brought some toys here to Five Alive. These toys will brighten the eyes of some children at the Mayor's Christmas party on December 17th. If you need help at Christmas time, you can call 232-0199. And finally, here's a little guy who knows how to share. He's already learned his lesson. Timothy Hay had his hands full with a cuddly bear and some books. And Timothy, he'll be 2 years old next month, but he knows he's helping to make Christmas better for some kids at that early age. And our kids are over in Toyland. Jennifer Eve is hanging out there in Toyland, and I'm going to see how she can catch you.
Uh-oh.
There we go. You've been practicing this.
There you go.
There we go.
All right, we need Dean Blevins. Where is he when you need him? You know, we've had such a tremendous response. We're getting footballs for the little guys. We're getting dolls and things that make all kinds of noise for, of course, it doesn't do it when you need it to. But anyway, this is all for the Mayor's Christmas party on the 17th. And Mike, we had some nice folks come in this afternoon.
That's right, Jennifer. More toys to Toyland. Boy, we've got a bunch of them. 4-year-old Chase Healy came by and gave us the soccer ball, and along with his parents and his brother, a candy cane filled with candy. How about that, Jeff? It's not yours. I'm going to give this to Cherokee here, okay? But hey, we're doing great here. We appreciate all the help and encourage you to come on by and drop off more toys.
You bet. All for the Mayor's Christmas party.
Right.
What have you got for us tonight?
In Oklahoma Pride tonight, some local independent contractors are showing their pride for Oklahoma City. They're removing old signs from vacant car lots. Jimmy Connor and Ron Cobb spent much of their day cutting off and taking down this old Chevrolet sign from the front of what used to be a car dealership on North Broadway. They volunteered for the cleanup as part of Oklahoma City's Make It Shine in '89 campaign. Volunteers like Jimmy and Ron are cleaning up Oklahoma City, getting ready for next year's centennial celebration. El Reno's first entry on the National Register of Historic Places is undergoing an extensive facelift right now. Assignment Oklahoma reporter Ron Stahl tells us the old Goff House may be on its way to a whole new life.
The old Goff House really is old, built in 1900. You might think it's seen its better days, but Ron and Betty Weevil have big plans for the house.
Well, when it grows up, I think it wants to be a bed and breakfast inn.
The house won a spot on the National Register of Historic Places because of its architecture, the elaborate moldings, the staircase with its hand-carved wood, and the tulip designs, also hand-carved. The Weevils passed the house many times during their trips from Houston to visit Ron's parents.
We'd look at it each year, year after year. We would come back, and it would be more decayed and more dilapidated, and it seemed to just say, please come and help me. I could be such a beautiful structure.
Because winter's bearing down on us at this point, most of the restoration has been done not on the inside, but out here on the exterior of the house. Contractor John Crittenbrink of Guthrie is using an old photograph to guide him in the restoration. From the specially cut and shaped cedar shingles on the roof to the missing railings on the windows, the goal is to make it the house that William Goff built, so he'd be proud to live in it today. Ron Stahl, Assignment, Oklahoma, El Reno.
The Weevils hope to have the Bed and Breakfast Inn open in the spring. And cat lovers, listen up. You might want to make a trip to the State Fairgrounds this weekend. It's that time of year again for the annual Rags to Riches Cat Show. The Oklahoma City Cat Club sponsors the event, which has attracted 225 cats.
From a tool to attract new business, industry, and jobs to Oklahoma and western Arkansas is behind this door. One of the first facilities of its kind.
What about available labor?
Using computer and laser disc technology to show companies from other states the advantages of establishing operations in this area.
Let's see that area.
The new Business Resource Center from OG&E gives this area's economic development efforts a leading edge.
It's impressive.
At OG&E, we're generating excitement about Oklahoma and western Arkansas that benefits us all.
One of the most important things you can do for your family this holiday season is get a tiny little video camcorder from Lawrence Photo Video, your camcorder specialist. It's a great way to capture your happy times.
Ben Soares is taking some time off to eat some more turkey, probably with his family. Larry Blunt filling in with some word about home sales.
That's right, Jennifer. Home sales dropped in October for the second month in a row, even though lenders were offering lower mortgage rates. The sale of single-family homes were down by about 1% from September to October. That amounts to about 3.5 million homes sold. There was also a small drop in home prices in October. The median cost of an existing home was $88,100. That's down $100 from September. Now, analysts predict the drop in home sales will continue, but they don't predict a severe slump. 2 Oklahoma companies are listed among the nation's 400 largest. Oklahoma Publishing Company is ranked 193rd this year with annual sales of $750 million. C.R. Anthony Company ranked 372nd with annual sales of $450 million, and Anthony's took quite a drop from last year when it was ranked 277th. Well, the presidential inauguration is still 2 months away, but already most major hotels in Washington, D.C. are booked solid. 5 Live's Ron Talley has this report, which sounds like something from Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous.
Most of Washington's first-class hotel rooms were booked 2 months before the election, including this presidential suite at the Ritz-Carlton, used by both Senator Benson and Vice President-elect Quayle to rehearse for their debate. At $15,000, it's a 5-day, 4-night package, offering champagne and caviar served daily, breakfast in bed, catered dinners for 12 in the suite's private dining room, and more.
Box seats at the Kennedy Center, a vintage Rolls Royce at your beck and call 24 hours a day, plus your personal valet stationed right nearby so that the inaugural gown needs to be pressed.
There are also inaugural souvenirs, a white chocolate Capitol, White House, and George Bush sucker, as well as a wristwatch. And last but not least, guaranteed reservations at the Jockey Club, a Washington favorite for power brokers and celebrities. Getting around the nation's capital during Inauguration Week is yet another story. Oh, there are taxi cabs, plenty of them. But for the rich and powerful, taxi cabs...
$1,000 rebates on all new Toyota vans. Shop courtesy Toyota Del City, Don Carlton Toyota Oklahoma City, and Fowler Toyota in Norman.
Remarkable.
Do you know what happens when Morgan Boots has a sale? Some people can't get enough of a Morgan Boots low price. Justin Lizards are $135. Cowtown Roper is $59.95. Justin Full Quill Ostrich $2.99. Oklahoma, Morgan Boots is your perfect fit.
How's the fit? Great. And the price feels even better.
Morgan Boots. We make you money by saving you money every day with 2 locations. And there's no limit on how much you can save.
Barry Sanders has gotten the first of what we are sure to be many, many awards for this season.
Lots of awards, and the best is yet to come, I'm sure. Absolutely. Barry Sanders is the winner of the first of this year's major individual awards in college football. Tonight, the Cowboy Jr. was named the winner of the Walter Camp Trophy. Sanders is the nation's leading rusher and scorer. He's gained almost 2,300 yards, averaging more than 7.5 yards per carry, and has scored 35 touchdowns. The Walter Camp Trophy is presented to the player who has exemplified the qualities of self-discipline, unselfish team play, desire to excel, mature judgment, and respected leadership. And that, folks, is Barry Sanders. He should win the Heisman Trophy next weekend. Southern Cal quarterback Rodney Peete didn't have the game he needed to win the Heisman Trophy today versus Notre Dame. The Fighting Irish won the battle of the nation's 1 and 2 ranked teams and did it without leading rusher Tony Brooks and top receiver Ricky Waters. They were sent home before the game for missing a team dinner. First quarter, 5 minutes in, Irish quarterback Tony Rice keeps on the option to the left, and the race is on. The Trojans will not catch him. Rice goes 65 yards to put Notre Dame ahead 7-0, the longest run against USC in 9 years. Brooks' backup Mark Green scores the first of his 2 touchdowns on a short run, and the Irish lead 14-0. Southern Cal cuts the lead in half on a 1-yard touchdown run by Scott Lockwood in the second period. It's 14-7. But a couple of minutes later, the Irish deliver the crusher. Peete has his pass picked off by Stan Smagala. He returns it 64 yards to put the Irish ahead 20-7 at halftime. Peete passed for 225 but had 2 passes intercepted, and the Irish complete an 11-0 regular season with a 27-10 victory. Another big game today in college football, Miami over Arkansas, 18-16. It's the Razorbacks' first loss. With the score tied at 3, Steve Walsh back to pass, fakes, then fires deep to Julius Dawkins. And he makes a spectacular catch and is down at the 1. Moments later, the Hurricanes score to go up 10-3. Now watch for number 53 in white. Miami sets up a punt return, but number 53 for Arkansas makes a great tackle. Who is that player making the tackle, you ask? Well, he is Greg Switzer, and you've probably heard of his dad. Miami leads 15-10 in the third quarter, but Quinn Grovey changes that. He scrambles and hits Barry Foster with a 16-yard touchdown pass. The Hogs take a 16-15 lead. That lead holds up until Carlos Huerta kicks a 20-yard field goal with 5:38 left, giving Miami a 2-point win. Now back to the scoreboard. Top 20 action tonight. Florida State over Florida, 52-17. Houston beat Rice. 16th rated LSU over Tulane, 44-14. And Vince Dooley picked up his 200th coaching victory as Georgia defeated Georgia Tech. Other scores in college football today, Tulsa over Colorado State. T.J. Rubley threw 4 touchdown passes, 3 of them to Dan Bitson. Tennessee beat Vanderbilt by a touchdown. Mississippi over Mississippi State. Temple whipped Boston College, and Arizona got past Arizona State. NAIA playoffs. This is a big game down at Durant. Southeastern, rated 4th in the nation, defeated Central Arkansas, the number 1 team, 21-14. College basketball, Oklahoma State blew a 13-point lead and lost its regular season opener 93-75 tonight at Pittsburgh. Richard Dumas led the Pokes with 21 points. So Oklahoma State loses their opener. Later on tonight, in just a few minutes, Oklahoma will take on 8th-ranked Nevada, Las Vegas in the semifinals of the Maui Classic in Hawaii. Women's action today, Stephen F. Austin over Oklahoma State in overtime in the championship game of the Cowgirl Classic. And in the finals of the Sooner Invitational, West Virginia beat Oklahoma 83-65. Horse racing's winningest jockey, Bill Shoemaker, paid a visit to Remington Park today. Shoemaker has won more than 8,000 races and millions of dollars in his long career. Today, he donned the silks for the first time at Remington Park and rode Native Paster in the 8th race, which was the Life's Magic Handicap. Unfortunately for the Shoe, his horse finished 6th out of 12, well behind the winner, G.U. Dreamer. G.U. Dreamer, a long shot, paid $44.40, $16.0680. A.V. Jane was second. Dancing Jasmine was the show horse. Pick 6, paid $30,000 plus to 3 winners.
Early loss for the Cowboys, but I got a feeling by the year goes on, they're going to get a lot better.
They'll be very good, and they'll be great by next year.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
And next on 5 Alive, some advice if you're tree shopping.
And don't forget the toys to add to Toyland. We'll be right back. Steve Anderson says, find a nice tree here in Oklahoma and cut it down yourself. Now, that doesn't mean you should scale your neighbor's fence and chop one down in his yard. There are special tree lots that let you do that. Who would do that?
You wouldn't do that,
I
would
wouldn't
you?
do that, no.
No, I don't know. I saw a hatchet back there. I think they're looking for some greenery. Thanks for joining us tonight.
See you tomorrow.